Welcome, this is Mac 1140, Exam 2, question number 1 on the free response. In this question, they give you the following graph, it's a parabola, and they tell you that the vertex is 2, 1, and there's another point, 3, 1/3. In the first part of this question, they go ahead and they want you to write the equation of the parabola in standard form, which is given as follows. A is a constant, and H and K are constants, but H and K actually represent your vertex. So what we can do is we can just go ahead and use this point to fill in H and K. And they tell you to leave A just as A for the time being. So the first part, you will just go ahead and get Y equals A times X minus, and your X value here, which is going to be 2, squared plus 1, because that's your K value. You shift over 2 and up 1. Then in the second part, they want you to go ahead and determine the leading coefficient A. So how do we do that? Well, we can see that we have one equation here with technically 3 unknowns, an A, an X, and a Y. But we also know that the point 3, 1/3 is on this parabola. So we can plug 3 in for X and 1/3 in for Y and solve out for our A. So let's do so. 1/3 equals A times, and when you plug the 3 into this, 3 minus 2 is 1. So 1 squared plus 1. So this is all just A plus 1. And then you can just subtract the 1 over, and 1/3 minus 1 is negative 2/3. And you get the answer of negative 2/3 for this part of the question. And we should anticipate that because we can see that the parabola is opening downwards. That means it's upside down, and therefore the leading coefficient here should be a negative number. So then they want you to just simply replace the negative 2/3 up into this equation. So we'll put negative 2/3 there. So this is the equation of the parabola. And that is the answer to part 3 of this question. They go on to ask you for the Y-intercepts. So remember, Y-intercepts are simply where you plug 0 in for X. If they wanted X-intercepts, you plug 0 in for Y. It's the opposite of what it would sound like. So we go ahead and plug 0 in for X. When you plug 0 into here, let me do it over here. Y of 0 is equal to negative 2/3. When you plug the 0 in there, you just get negative 2 squared plus 1. So squaring this gives you a 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So this is negative 8/3 plus 1. 1 is really 3 over 3. So we can say this is negative 8/3 plus 3/3. And then if we add straight across, you get negative 5/3 as your Y value. So that means if we were to continue this down to right here, we get negative 5/3. And that seems to be reasonable because we know it's definitely got to be below the x-axis, so our y-intercept should be negative. And then the final part of this question, they ask you for the range. What are all the y values? And we can see this just by looking at the graph. We know it's going to go down to negative infinity, but is there an upper bound on this? And there is. It's just where the vertex is at. And we know the vertex is up here at 1. So we know that the range would be 1 to negative infinity. And you want to include the 1. So we could say our range is bracket 1, let's do this from bottom up, negative infinity to 1 bracket. So this is your range, this is your y-intercept, and then that was the general equation for this parabola.